Hello designers, this is going to be a really fast tutorial talking to you about how to place some texture in the background for your quote posters. So let's get started. I'm just going to start by creating a new document. So we're going to be working with tabloid size. So let's just go to, let's say 14 by 11. Okay, 14 by 11. Again, this is just practice, so it doesn't really matter what size that you create. So to put a texture in your background, you'll go to File, Place. I have a bunch of textures already that you can use. So if you go to Courses, Art, Digital Image Archive. This is where all of my photos are stored. And there is a folder here called Textures. Now to see what these files look like, you must change this drop down to one of these visibilities here. So let's say we wanted one of these grungy paper ones. So we click on the file we want and we click Place. You're going to get this weird little icon here and you just click. From here you can rotate this to fit your page. You can resize it. To resize it, you're just going to click and drag those corners. Now, if this was a normal picture, I would tell you to hold down Shift to constrain the proportions, but because it's a texture, it doesn't matter. And then click Enter. Oops. And then deselect that. I can take the opacity of this down so it's not quite so overwhelming. So that's your transparency panel. And I can take that down so it just kind of blends through. I can also tint this a slightly different color. So this is a little technique that you can use. If you grab the rectangle shape tool, and I'm gonna, let's say I want to tint this kind of a blue color. So on my foreground color, I'm going to pick the color blue I want. If I click and drag a shape here, and then I take the opacity of this down, it will give the illusion of tinting that background color. Okay. If you want to add a frame or a border to this, obviously the easiest way is to grab your rectangle tool, click and drag, set your fill to none, but give yourself a stroke, and you can bump up the size of that stroke to give yourself a frame. Okay, so remember the focus here is going to be on the text, but I'm well aware that some of you might want to do a little bit of something in your background space. I just don't want you to let that background space get overwhelming and overpower the text. The focus should be on the text. All right, so that's a very quick tutorial on how to place a textured image in there and also how to tint it.